as we open our voices in sacred praise. May the presence of the Almighty fill this space with peace. Multiple arrests will now occur for the chosen one. The networks that have been working in the background against you are going to be pulled into the open and confronted with the full weight of divine justice. All of the conspiracies, lies, thefts, and manipulations that have prevented you from moving forward will soon come to light, and those involved will be held accountable. The day of reckoning has come, and you will soon see the forces that dare to oppose your fate completely destroyed. At this very time, a banker has been found embezzling funds intended for you from charitable donations. In no way is it good. This individual is a member of a gang of thieves, and the devil is a lie. God is going to make these criminals give you back the things they have taken. This banker is only the first step. It's going to shatter your mind to learn that there is a whole network of people who have been deliberately ruining your life. They are a collection of thieving spirits whose time is running out. Something even more startling is concealed behind this theft. A trust fund that is legally yours, but you are unaware of its existence. They refer to it as the hiding part for this reason. There has been riches with your name on it sitting in accounts you were unaware existed while you've been struggling, working several jobs, and being told there isn't enough to go around. This awakening isn't happening by accident. You're not just discovering this stuff by chance, because you are now spiritually mature enough to handle the truth. God is revealing this to you. You're prepared to see what has been done to you, but more significantly, you're prepared to reclaim what is rightfully yours. This conspiracy scope is astounding. We're talking about a concerted attempt by several people who have been trying to keep you tiny, keep you struggling, and prevent you from realizing your full potential and purpose. Not just one person with a grudge. You've always had a keen sense of intuition and knew when things wasn't quite right. Your intuition will soon be confirmed in ways you never could have predicted. A corrupt community has been the subject of an ongoing inquiry for concealing your trust fund from you. There is involvement from law enforcement. There are federal agencies engaged. This is not some small-time enterprise. Rather, it is the pinnacle of organized crime. There are other people involved, including those who believed they were impervious to criticism. Everything leads to one energy in particular when you follow the paper trail, track down the money, and make the connections. One individual who has been the mastermind behind years of well-planned attacks on your life. Yellow heart if you feel the divine love. Now is the time to share. Click the super thank you button on YouTube to contribute $50 or more and help us spread God's blessings. What you do is being watched and serves as a seed, and in the future it will come back to you a millionfold. People are finally beginning to see right through this individual, who you would characterize as a big old fat liar. Everyone who previously accepted their stories about you is starting to realize the truth as their well-crafted facade is coming apart and their mask is sliding. The mastermind is someone who tries to take your destiny away from you because they are so jealous of it. This someone has been observing you, researching you, figuring out your habits, and methodically destroying every aspect of your life where you are poised to succeed. This person is mirroring your gender, which is an interesting phenomenon. The laws of reflection and shadow work govern how the cosmos functions, because they are a reflection of what you might become if you choose the dark path over the light. Your biggest adversary frequently exhibits traits similar to your own. This person has been keeping tabs on your advancement, relationships, professional prospects, and even spiritual growth, because they have access to information about you that you were unaware of. They have been one step ahead of you. You thought you were playing checkers, but they were playing chess. It will soon be exposed. This individual is going to feel extremely ashamed because their entire scheme, years of meticulous preparation, years of deceit, and years of believing they were better than everyone else, is going to be exposed. Everything is about to collapse. The story becomes more complex. The mastermind has collaborators. You've discovered that this individual is actually half of a diabolically evil married pair who have made it their joint goal to ruin your life. Not only did these people steal from you, but they also attempted to destroy your career. While one was dealing with the cash theft, the other was working on character assassination. One was obstructing your career chances, and the other was distributing false information about you to anyone who would listen. They were attacking you on several fronts at once. Their depravity is more pervasive than you first thought. It's possible that one of the couple's energies contributed to the drugging and death of their own child. You're dealing with people who are capable of the height of wickedness, who would sacrifice their own flesh and blood in order to keep their position of authority and control. This isn't just about money or jealousy. Now you see them for what they really are: fabrications, liars, phonies, and gigantic fakes. Every reputation they have established, every narrative they have given about themselves, and every picture they have portrayed have all been false. They have attacked you using a methodical approach to character assassination. They have been lying to everyone, including the police, about you. People have been believing their lies without inquiry because they are so thorough, compelling, and seeming to be true. All of the statements they made about you were wholly untrue, not even vaguely true, exaggerated, or taken out of context. In actuality, they have been brazenly lying about you rather than twisting the truth in any way. Everything about it was false. Given that others have finally discovered the truth about them, the feminine energy in this relationship is currently experiencing extreme depression. In reality, every breakdown has been a covert breakthrough. Sometimes things must fall apart in order to be rebuilt even better. Before the basis of truth could be constructed, the foundation of falsehoods had to be destroyed. Before the true you could be born, the fake persona had to die. Mike, the creator of the Obsidian Inner Order, which is powered by Astral Atom, has sent out the following message: I will never give up on you. I will never leave you to face this awakening alone, and I will never ignore your pain as if it were nothing. This is a disguised lifeline, not just a rickroll. Because too many of us have been banished for perceiving the truth, shunned by family, deceived by cults, and plagued by talents we didn't request, I founded the Obsidian Inner Order. We now meet live on Zoom once a week, with real faces and real people. A healer who broke free from ritual abuse, a former CFO who became a psychic, and a seer who left Mormonism. Indeed, the calls are recorded, allowing you to return to the field while on the floor. We are a miracle, not a meme, and we will never abandon you. Join the Inner Order of Obsidians. The description contains a link. Glowing star if you want to witness God's miracles. Act now. Contribute $100 or more through Super Thank You on YouTube. Your offering is like a seed that comes back to you when planted. Let His light illuminate your steps. Every donation is an echo in His plan. You have changed loneliness into independence, perplexity into clarity, and sorrow into strength. You've acquired knowledge that comes only from experience. You have acquired a sense of judgment that can only be honed by need. You've learned the most important thing possible: the precise location and mechanism of your assaults. Your strength lies in this knowing. You can't be caught off guard anymore. You can't be gaslit anymore. You can't be persuaded that your perceptions are incorrect anymore. As the entire repair process progresses, you're in a position to be even pleased than before. This is elevation, not simply recovery. Receiving what was rightfully yours, plus interest for the delay, is more than simply getting back what was taken. The enemy's strategy failed miserably. Instead of making you weaker, their attacks made you stronger. Instead of confusing you, their lies strengthened your commitment to the truth. Their seclusion compelled you to forge a bond with God that human treachery cannot sever. There will now be several arrests. I'm grateful. Thank God. Glory be. God is good, and His justice is entire, comprehensive, and irresistible. An incredibly strange and vicious love triangle is the object of the arrests. Those who believed that their connections would shield them are learning that human hierarchies are not recognized by heavenly justice. Protection against cosmic repercussions cannot be purchased with money. Theft by men is a federal offense. Crimes that have been perpetrated against you for years are finally being addressed by the justice system. Human justice is a gradual but steady process. The corrupt pair who planned so much of your misery will face legal and public prosecution for their crimes against you when divine justice is guiding the timeline. As private as their conceit was, their shame will be as public. Justice functions on several levels at once. Financial justice as stolen property is found and repaid. Social justice as their reputations are damaged. Spiritual justice as cosmic law balances the scales. And legal justice for the illegal deeds. Human justice could never be as comprehensive and all-encompassing as God's justice system. Divine justice deals with the intentions, spiritual offenses, and harm done to souls and destiny. Human courts can only deal with what can be demonstrated by proof. You're getting total public and private validation. The truth will be revealed to all those who trusted their falsehoods about you. Everyone who had doubts about your character will realize the truth. You will be validated in front of everyone who questioned your account. The wicked are having to deal with repercussions they never thought were imaginable. They never took divine accountability into consideration, but they did arrange for human accountability. They never planned for cosmic justice, but they did prepare for worldly justice. Wisdom is necessary for victory, and divine instruction is clear. Avoid opening the door for one of these people at all costs. They will want to touch you when justice is served, when their world crumbles, and when their desperation reaches its climax. They will be so enraged when this is eventually resolved that they will actually want to hurt you physically. The most dangerous creatures are those that are cornered. Desperate decisions are made by desperate people. Your safety comes first, even when you win. You are the only one who truly understands how aggressive and nasty these folks can be. When things don't go their way, you've witnessed their anger. When they feel threatened, you've seen them completely violate limits. When their authority is questioned, you realize their potential for evil. As these individuals experience actual repercussions for the first time in their lives, the level of physical danger rises. Those who have acted without consequence are not good at handling responsibility. When their plans fail, people who have never encountered genuine opposition frequently turn to violence. Even while you celebrate your victory, you're still adhering to safety procedures. Together, divine protection and common sense are effective. Complete victory requires both street smarts and spiritual authority. Your ability to use discernment is keeping you from making rash decisions that could endanger your safety. Just because justice is being served does not mean that you should relax. Just because you're feeling vindicated doesn't mean you're putting yourself in risk. Although the win is genuine, it is also prudent. Instead of celebrating from a place of weakness or naivete, you are celebrating from one of strength and protection. The barriers are getting closer. Evidence they believed they had effectively concealed is coming to light as a result of the investigation. Once trusting people are now doubting everything they have ever said. They have failed because of their conceit. They didn't anticipate being apprehended. They believed they were too cautious, too intelligent, and too connected. When they were told they were untouchable, they believed it. Everything they said about you was false, and false evidence eventually comes to light, so they never should have said it. The worst news is still to come. The ultimate betrayal can be coming from someone in your own family, a parent who intentionally brought you up to harm yourself. This clarifies everything, even the voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough, the sporadic patterns of self-doubt, and the way you've historically talked yourself out of opportunities just before making a breakthrough. These habits were hardwired into you. You weren't born with them. Your predicament is no exception to the rule that blood is not thicker than water. Family titles don't always imply loyalty, love, or protection. There are instances when the people who are meant to safeguard you are actually working against you. Triangulating people against one another is something that this parent figure is very guilty of. They have a habit of causing drama, igniting conflict, and then portraying themselves as the victim or the solution. They are incredibly emotionally abusive, because chaos keeps everyone else too unstable to recognize their manipulation. They thrive on it. They are really enraged and agitated right now because of what they are witnessing about you. Your development puts their authority in jeopardy. Their lies are exposed by your achievement. Your contentment runs counter to their claim that you are essentially defective. Their fundamental assumption about you has always been that you should struggle, require them, and stay little and controllable rather than be content, successful, or at peace or content. You're liberating yourself from decades of mental conditioning. You're beginning to see why certain patterns felt so automatic, why certain thoughts felt so natural, why certain constraints felt so genuine. These notions were installed. They weren't yours. When justice finally comes to your circumstance, you must keep your limits. Whatever you do, don't open the door for them. Don't let them inside your space, your home, your energy field. Their desperation will make them dangerous. You're now connecting dots that span your entire lifetime. You have been under attack since you were a tiny child. This was not a typical childhood challenge. This was not your normal dysfunctional household. The purpose of this planned spiritual battle was to keep you from ever realizing your true self. The fact that you would figure it out was something your assailants never imagined. They thought they had managed to mislead you, make you feel like you were the issue, and make you think that your difficulties were your own. You have identified your own people as the source of the attacks. The same people who were meant to keep you safe, mentor you, and help you develop were actively trying to harm you. You now understand their strategies: gaslighting, which caused you to doubt your own observations; gang stalking, which isolates you from possible allies and supporters; and pitiful psychological games that make you wonder your sanity. They had a clear objective. They thought they could successfully make you lose your mind or have a mental collapse. They intended you to destroy yourself so thoroughly that you would never be a danger to their plans. Dove, brother and sister, everything done in faith is returned in God's abundance. You can donate $100 using the Super Thank You button and be part of this divine call. If your roots are connected to Him, your fruit will be blessed. Their success was short-lived. For a while, they might have had you down and out. Perhaps there were times when you doubted every aspect of who you were. Perhaps there were moments when you nearly gave up. They made the terrible mistake of believing that it would be so simple to steal from you and silence you, like snatching candy from a baby. Your spiritual DNA was undervalued by them. They didn't realize you had supernatural support. They failed to recognize the strength that is forged in the furnace of hardship. You have always been unique. Even when everything seemed hopeless, you always had an inner understanding that kept you going. You've always had a source of power that wasn't coincidental and couldn't be explained by your situation. Until you were prepared to grasp the full extent of your challenges, that was your divine connection keeping you safe. Because of your extremely high spiritual standing, your opponents are greatly perplexed. They didn't know who they were actually up against. They thought you were spiritually weak because they witnessed your human troubles. They were completely mistaken. Your current situation does not define your spiritual status. Your experiences with attacks do not lessen your spiritual authority. You are spiritually significant, as evidenced by the severity of the attacks you have endured. This degree of concerted opposition is not attracted to low-level spiritual beings. Networks of dishonest persons do not target ordinary people. This level of intervention is not necessary to stop the manifestation of ordinary destinies. The major opponent has been exposed by you. There is no denying the evidence. The paper trail is unambiguous. The eyewitnesses are coming forward in ways that cannot be concealed or justified. The entire enterprise is coming to light. They're going to feel so ashamed. For those who have based their entire identity on intelligence, connections, and invulnerability, public humiliation is imminent. The very crimes they believed would never be exposed are going to ruin their reputation. You've turned their planned devastation into your success. In fact, each of their attacks against you has made you stronger. Someone has vowed to God to guard you with their life. This includes both human and divine protection. People are coming forward who are dedicated to making sure you are safe and successful, and who recognize the spiritual significance of your circumstances. You now have layered protection that addresses all possible threats. Financial protection through asset recovery, legal protection through the justice system, human protection through designated defenders, and spiritual protection through Archangel Michael. After choosing connection over control, love over manipulation, and truth over deceit, your twin flame is coming back to you. They are returning to their rightful place after escaping the influence that was confusing them. A higher-level soulmate or your twin flame are the other options available to you. You now have a number of divine possibilities instead of none at all. Without the intervention of those who have never had your best interests at heart, you are now free to select your own course, your own love, and your own fate. All of the artificially closed doors are opening. All of the obstructed opportunities are opening up. For other chosen ones going through comparable spiritual combat, your narrative is turning into a ray of hope. Your triumph serves as evidence of the existence of divine justice, the triumph of good over evil, and the triumph of truth over lies. You no longer function in survival mode, but rather from a place of love. Fear, scarcity, or desperation no longer influence your choices. You are making a decision based on your divine connection, strength, and abundance. The conspiracy that used to look so powerful, so unbeatable, and so set in its ways to dominate your life has been totally dismantled. As you walk in all divine authority, you have transformed from victim to conqueror, from survivor to Thor, and from chosen target to chosen one. Compound interest is restoring your money. We are releasing the trust fund that was concealed from you. The stolen charity donations are being given back. At the same time, the obstructed professional opportunities are becoming available. Better relationships are replacing or mending the ones that were destroyed. You're receiving excess, not simply the amount that was taken back. You're being raised above where you would have been in the absence of the attacks, not just getting over them. Your blessings' delayed arrival has given you momentum that will take you farther than you could have ever dreamed. Supernatural speed is being used to restore your reputation. Individuals that held false information about you are now openly admitting their mistake. Golden invites are unlocking doors that were slammed shut. Once impossible opportunities are now inescapable. The worst fear of your adversary has come true since you have figured it out, lived, and thrived through it. As a result, you are now unstoppable. Your new life of freedom, protection, and divine favor will now begin, and there will be several arrests.